Hello guys, Adam here from Not Toys Action Figures, bringing you another toy review, action review video. And wow, yeah, it's been a while since I've made one of these, so please do bear with me. But you can see we've got something completely new, something completely different for the channel. We have a Warhammer 40k Dark Angel Space Marine, and yeah, it's, as you can see, it's so big it's hard to get in the shot. It's a Macfarlane Toys figure. Very cool looking figure. It's absolutely massive and it has so much weight to it. Like it's hard for me to hold it up. But yeah, let's get it out of the box and see what we've got. Okay, so we are back. We got him out of the box, and yeah, getting him out of the box was quite a battle. You can see he's a big guy, and if you've ever opened Macfarlane Toys, you know that they come. I think the only word to describe it is entombed in plastic, but it actually feels like opening up a toy. Like, you know, some of these other, at least Hasbro figures, they feel more like action figures that, like, yeah, okay, you know, they're for grown-ups, they're nicely packaged in artsy looking packaging and stuff. But these were just like, here is like a cool toy. It has all of these like plastic bands kind of holding him in. Like, really feels like he was in like a, yeah, like, you know, he just dropped down in a drop ship from the Emperor's cruiser, landed on a planet and popped out of his armor. But yeah, he's a very cool looking figure. Like, you can see lots of detail on him there. The crests on his arm, the kind of paladin here on his shoulder, the red of the eyes, the silver coming up from there, on the chainsword as well. The nice bit of silver on the chainsword. My sword is a little bit wonky, unfortunately. But yeah, I think, like, if you look at his paint job, I think it looks very good. But it looks like, you know, if you've ever painted Warhammer, it looks like it needs a wash on it. Like, it looks a bit too clean. You can see on the back here, there is his jump pack. I've forgotten the actual term for it. But yeah, it looks, and you know, like maybe on the blue here, you would add some highlights. On the silver, you could add some wear. Yeah, it's like the thing, I don't know, like that Warhammer people would, I guess, would notice about these things, because they actually would do it on their own figures. But otherwise, as an actual action figure, he looks good. Let's put him in another pose and then we'll go over his articulation. So as you can see, he's kind of in another pose here, and you're surprised, you might not be surprised to see that his pose isn't that much different from the one we had before. But you can see it does come with a stand, which is kind of nice. So that definitely helps. Yeah, he is a little bit hard to pose, to be honest, because he's just so big and chunky. He reminds me of King Sphinx and those kind of characters from the Lightning Collection, where it's just there are lots of plastic. Like, they look very cool, but if you want to get him into dynamic poses, it is a little bit more difficult. But yeah, I guess we'll have a look at his articulation now, and I can show you why it's a little bit harder to get this big, clunky, chunky Space Marine into dynamic poses. Okay, as always with new figures, we'll go over his articulation, and you can see actually as accessories we get this nice stand, which is very helpful. We get the chainsword here, which, let me see if I can pry from his big hand. Yeah, very nice looking. Well, I mean, nice, as nice as it can look. Has some detail here on the hilt. There's kind of the throttle here, which is kind of cool. You get the nice skull there, if you can see it on my camera. Looking pretty sick. Let me just try and get some more light on it for you so you can see a little bit better. Yeah, the skull there, nice little detail. We come down to the rest of it. The red on there, the silver tips of the serrated edge. Nice, cool looking weapon, very iconic for the Warhammer 40k series. Then we have his pistol, which again is very standard Warhammer 40k. I can't remember the name of this. If you remember the name, put it down in the comments. But yeah, I always remember painting these, just adding some highlights on top of there, just so it looked really like some kind of energy. I can't remember its name. It's something to do with, it's like an energy pistol, but I think it has a different name. But yeah, again, very kind of standardized looking weapon for the Warhammer 40k. What you would expect with a Space Marine, but nothing too exciting. Then yeah, we can maybe get a close-up of him, and you can see, yeah, like I say, he is very big and he has some nice detail on him, but to be honest, he kind of feels a bit like, you know, like one of those build a wave figures where you get it all in parts and then you just push it together, and I mean they don't always fit together quite how you would hope they would. This is how he kind of feels if you try to push him into too much of a pose. Like you can see, interestingly, he has like a lot of double jointed joints. You can see here there's 2 pins in his elbow, which means he can get his arm up to here and it would go further. But of course there's this massive shoulder piece of armor that's blocking it. And yeah, just everything feels a bit loose. Like he's very heavy. His head is also, you can see it just comes off. It's just on a dumbbell there in the top, and it's just all this one piece. So it means you can, the dumbbell doesn't move either. So it means you can get his head to be quite kind of flexible in cases. Like if you put it on just like this, you can get him to sort of look down. And again, I'm sorry if it looks really dark. You can get it to sort of look down there and up if you wanted to have him in a flying pose, but then yeah, then the head falls off. So we try to do our best to push it in as far as it would go, and then you have mostly the head on a swivel, and then on the swivel it feels quite tight, at least. But yeah, you don't have any articulation this way, whatever axis that is. But yeah, it's nice to have the Death Angels here on the front. You can see the bits of detail. He has his whatever the Warhammer 40k version of the Bible is, and again you can see the Death Angels signal on the side there, the sword with the wings. Going down, yeah, his kneecaps again, very Death Angels, very cool bits of I guess scarring on there to make them look like he's been kneeling down. And then you go down to these boots that always remind me of Buzz Lightyear, because again they're very chunky. The bottom there's nothing really, just a peg for the stand. And yeah, on the back you can see his jetpack here. Again, everything is green. It maybe would have been nice to have a bit of extra paint on these and on here, but I guess that is kind of the beauty of these. If you are a Warhammer person who paints Warhammer, you could buy one of these huge figures and yeah, paint it yourself, like touch it up. I mean, in theory I could as well. I used to paint Warhammer. It just comes down to now, I guess, laziness and whether I want to get back into painting stuff. But yeah, you can see he's very big. I've got some other figures here to compare him to, but you can see as well the backpack really hinders his balance. It's making him fall backwards there. But yeah, so I bought King Sphinx to kind of pair alongside him, so you can get some kind of comparison of how big they both are. I think I'm going to end the video. I'll just pause the video and come back. Hang on. Okay, we are back, and as you can see here, the size comparison, the Macfarlane are always bigger. Hasbro always do 6-inch or 1/12 scale, and Macfarlane do 7-inch, which I'm not sure what scale that is, like 1/13 or 14th, I guess. But yeah, you can see him against other kind of monster-sized Hasbro figures. Actually, you know, to the point of his kind of wings here, he is taller, but I would say he's actually the head height. He goes, King Sphinx is actually bigger, which is kind of interesting. And actually compared to him, I mean, Sphinx looks as tall, but he just looks so much wider and chunkier, which is kind of cool. But yeah, it's like, imagine this guy with armor on, and that's exactly what you've got. So the scale works really well there. Then you can also see him here compared to the Red Lightning Collection, Mighty Morphin Red. Yeah, he's much bigger, and as he should be, because again, the scale, you can see with the Sphinx, the scale of the Sphinx is much bigger than the figures. And yeah, I mean, we didn't really go through the articulation, but to be fair, like I was saying, he does have like a lot of modern kind of joints to him. He has twin or double pins on the elbows, double pins on the knees, but especially his hip area is very kind of stiff and hard to move. So you can't really you can get his knees bent really well, but you can't get his legs kind of spread, which is quite difficult. I actually did have this leg fall off again as well. Like I was saying, it feels like one of those builder figures sometimes, and it's the same up here. These things get in the way. But yeah, other than that, like yeah, everything else is as standard. He's just a big figure. Looks cool. Might not be the easiest for you to pose though. So let's put him in one more pose and end the episode. Okay, and to end the video, just for a bit of fun, I put them up against each other. King Sphinx against the Space Marine. And yeah, you can see, like, just look at the legs, like the difference in mobility between the two. King Sphinx has so much more articulation. But again, like I said, if you imagine this guy in this armor, that's more or less what we have here. Whoops, that was my light. So yeah, in conclusion, what do I think about the Dark Angels Macfarlane toy? I think it's a great figure. I think if you want to have him on a shelf, or you want to have him on a desk, looking imposing, looking big next to your other figures, your other 16-inch scale figures, it's definitely worth picking him up. He was also quite cheap, like even in Austria, he was only 20 euros, which is, like, for an action figure, is really cheap. Like, now Lightning Collection is kind of peaking towards 30 euros a figure, so this is still really quite affordable. But yeah, if you're a toy photographer, maybe you probably are way more talented than I am, but putting him into poses isn't the easiest to do, to be honest. But no, I think if you can just have him standing holding his chainsword, yeah, and you have some nice lighting, a nice backdrop, then you've got a pretty cool figure there. Or you just want him to sit on a shelf. But yeah, let me know what you thought of my review, guys. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like. And yeah, let me know if you want to see any more 40k stuff on the channel. Like I said, it's quite affordable here in Austria, which usually isn't the case with action figures, and it's pretty easy to get. And yeah, if you've picked up the figure, please let me know what you think of him. I'm always interested to see other people's opinions on toys that I review. But yeah, that's the review. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, NotToysAF. And we'll see you in the next review, which probably will be back to Lightning Collection, but let's see. But yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Bye bye.